Hello guys, and welcome to the second Explore Herpetology research expedition. This time, we're in the agricultural lowlands of eastern Thailand searching for new and exciting species, including the infamous Siamese Russell's viper.
Keith! Look at that, bro! Alright guys, welcome back to a new Rupert's Reptiles video. Keith is back in the house. That's 2 videos in a row. And we're actually just in the men's bathroom right now, which is a little bit weird, but check out where we're going next. All right, we're about to begin our next expedition, and for the first time this year, we're not, whoa! It's so wet out here. I'm not going to southern Thailand. We're not going to southern Thailand. There's 4 of us, Harry, David, Keith, and myself, and we're going to eastern Thailand. But first, it's time to eat some Western food for the very last time. I hope you can hear me over the highway. David over there, Harry over there. Let's get some grub. Okay, so we just arrived at our first location. It's kind of low light, but we're in the agricultural lands of eastern Thailand, and we're looking for a few specific species, one of which is the boya, and we're going to be doing a mixture of road cruising and like walking around the rice fields tonight. This is a totally new area for me, but not a new type of herping. So yeah, we've all got hooks, tongs, etc., all fully geared up for just in case a huge boya crosses the road. Fingers crossed. Let's get out there and see what we find.
Go in to drop and start. And then
just did one final fuel up. Hello. All right, we're just getting out to our first site at sunset. I mean, I haven't been in this kind of habitat for a while, and it is pretty. Not the most biodiverse, but yeah, it's really pretty. All right, so listen to this, guys. We were just cruising along here, and David's like, Rupert, can you reverse? I think I saw a snake in the water. I reversed like 30 meters back, and there actually was a snake swimming. Harry, where is it? Harry just got it out. We're kind of working with mixed light here. I'm trying not to make it too bright. But there you go, look at that, guys. First snake just minutes after we showed up at the site, and in kind of an unexpected way, but I would say this is one of the most expected snakes that, to see here. This cute little Fowlia flavipunctatus. You can see flavipunctatus have the black edge scales on the venter, and their head scales and eye situation is kind of different to the forest dwelling species Piscator. But in some parts of the north of Thailand, you can get Piscator in agricultural lands like this. But yeah, as Harry was saying, there is actually touches of red on this, on the side, which is the kind of flower phase of this species that we've been kind of keeping an eye out for. So that's very interesting to see. I've certainly never seen one with any touches of red on the side. What?
What is it? What is it?
Oh no.
Is it really?
No. It's just like some stupid millipede, yeah. All right, so Keith and I dropped David and Harold off to do some walking, and we got out cruising, and almost instantly we road cruised this deeply in shed Fowlia flavipunctatus. So you can kind of see that one we just found was significantly more beautiful. This one isn't just ugly because it's in shed, it's just very much a typical Fowlia. You know, you can see by the eyes that it's going into shed. So we're not going to spend much time with this one. Just going to grab a quick voucher pick on my phone, and we can move on and keep cruising because we got much bigger targets than this.
How?
Bro, I'm not even kidding. We just road cruised a fish, dude. A friggin' catfish. Just sitting on the road. Like, it must have fallen off a fisherman's. There's not even any water on either side. I was like, what is that, Keith? And he was like, I don't even know. And it turned out to be a fish. Look, he's dry though. We need to like get him some water. All right, so we've taken it upon ourselves that we have to save this fish's life. So I picked it up with some difficulty and put it in this tub. And yeah, that's enough, that's enough. And we're just gonna drop it off at some water body. I mean, we're not gonna eat it and we're not gonna let it die here. So this has to be done, even though it wastes our valuable cruising time. But here's our catfish, and Keith's just gonna do the honors of dropping it off in this pool here. So just tip our old boy out.
There we go.
And there he is. Happy again, and hilariously, when we got off to drop it off in this pool, you know what I spotted on the edge of the pool? Hypsiscopus plumbia. So our second species, he's a bit muddy because I kind of grabbed him out of the mud, but yeah, look at that. Our second species is flattening out this guy, doing his defensive tactic. I don't really feel like getting bitten by it, so I'm gonna leave it be, but a nice kind of like creamish vented Hypsiscopus plumbea here. So we're not going to spend too much longer with this one since we get these all over our area, but look at that goofy face one more time before I release him. All right, we thought we road cruised a snake, but it's just this really big and quite vibrantly colored Sicilian. I don't know what this one is, probably Cotauensis, since we're not, actually I have no idea what Sicilian you get up here, but yeah, as you can see, it's still alive. A little dry because it was out on the road, but yeah, we'll just throw him back into his ditch here and he'll be perfectly happy. But really cool worm-like amphibian and pretty weird and wacky. Let me get a close-up on that head. Yes, we can. Look at those tiny little eyes. They kind of burrow in the mud under the water, but yeah, I'm just gonna let this one go. Keith.
Let's fucking go. Oh wait, can I swear or not?
Yeah, you can swear. Bro, look at this. The first one of our targets for the trip on the first night. Since you last saw us with that plumbea, it's been what? Or that Sicilian, it's been like almost 2 hours of cruising. And right there on the road is my lifer, Oligodontaeniatus. And of course, this is a relatively common snake across Isan and this part of eastern Thailand, but this was a big target for us, and you can easily miss out on these targets with a little bit of bad luck, even if they're common. But we persevered, and it is beautiful. So much more beautiful than I'd actually imagined. I always felt like these had like a grey stripe. But as you can see, it lacks the black bars on the tail, so it's definitely not Muhotai, even though superficially, it's very similar. You see it's still got the watermelon venter. Hold on, let me move out the road. All right, guys, I took a risk to pick it up now that the motorbike guy's gone by. And so far, it seems completely reluctant to bite, which is awesome. Kind of like a few of the Muhotai you get around that area. Generally, Oligodon are pretty bitey snakes, and you don't like to be bitten by them, but this one, just sitting really peacefully in my hand. But I'm surprised by how Muhotai-like it is, but you see that stripe on the side and the head. There's a couple like major differences, and obviously, as I was saying before, it lacks those two black bars on the tail. But this is a pretty cute, very nice little snake. One I've been wanting to see for a long time, and another addition to my Thailand species list, which keeps growing and growing and growing. So yeah, fantastic. Oligodontaeniatus, the striped kukri snake. Our first target of the trip ticked off. All right, so Keith just spotted this long-tailed grass lizard, which is the first one I've actually seen in Thailand in 2022. It's not exactly rare, distributed throughout quite a lot of grassy agricultural lowlands. So this is the habitat we're walking in right now. It doesn't smell great, but there's snakes around, so we're gonna keep searching, and I'm sure we can find some more out here. Check it out, Keith just found this very young juvenile white-lipped pit viper, which has like this incredible, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, this like insane iridescent sheen to it. It's actually quite insane. It's not really coming up on video, but to the eye, it's actually like the iridescence, like it's crazy. It doesn't even look like it's made, like it doesn't look like it's real. It looks like it's plastic. Little guy's just glowing down here. Very cool, but just an albo, so we're gonna leave it in situ. But I'm not sure if this is the first one I've shown on my channel since my bite. It very well could be, honestly. It very well could be. So I definitely don't intend to be bitten by one. Even one this size would not be fun. In this grass here is like the 6th or 7th flavy we've seen on this walk. This one's got pretty nice strong patterning with a yellow neck too, which is always nice to see, but I'm just going to leave it in situ again. Hopefully we can get something different in a minute. All right, guys, we just got this lovely Bocourt's water snake out of a trench, which is a species we were really hoping to see here in the east of Thailand, but not necessarily expecting, especially not in this area where we're targeting the rarer mud snake, Anhydrus chenardii. But Subsessa bocourti, a young one like this, is certainly a welcome find. This guy's just chilling. You can see he's alive. He's flicking his tongue. But look at that head, man. These can have really strong patterning, and they can be like a dark purple, but this one's, he's just sitting there looking really pretty for us. And yeah, it's nice to see one of these Eastern Thailand special species. But look at these guys' heads from the front. Oh, sorry. From above, like really quite a sight that is. But yeah, here's like a comparison of my hand next to it. So not very big, quite a young one, although these guys get absolutely enormous. All right, check it out. Harry just found our obligatory crate, which we tend to find on almost all of our expeditions. This one ooh, it has a bit of damage there. This is a really, really yellow Malayan crate, and it's acting extremely docile too, but possibly one with the most yellow I've ever seen. It's not really coming up as much on video as it does to the eye, but you can see here the anterior third of the venter, well, the whole venter is extremely yellow, which is pretty damn cool, honestly. Very, very interesting. Of course, Thailand's most deadly snake. I think that's probably fair to say. And this one has a lot of black between the scales. You know, we prefer the Candidus with a minimal amount of black on the white patches of the scales. That's what I mean when I say between the scales. It's kind of just like, I just say that because I'm a bit of a moron. I just say dumb stuff. But as you can see, not too much to say here, which I haven't said about these before. Malayan crates are awesome. Always a pleasure to find. Very common, of course, so I won't be taking any pictures of it, but I'm sure we'll get one person to take pictures of it for our trip report, which will be up on exploreherpetology.com, of course. But look at that little puppy dog eyes, little stuffed animal eyes. How could you consider this a scary animal? It's just a beautiful Malayan crate. All right, it's the following afternoon after a pretty successful but not mind-blowing night in the field. This is a kind of look at the room we have. I've claimed the big bed. Keith's over there on like the kids' bed. And it's kind of a mess. That's always how it turns out to be when you're like only coming out in and out of the room for like very short periods. And plus, I'm like packing my stuff right now. But yeah, we're about to head out into the field. I'll catch up with you when we get there. All right, so we're back out in the rice fields and straight away caught this pretty bitey Fowlia flavipunctatus that's really trying to have a go at me. Look at this guy here. But we saw a lot of these last night, so we're going to keep searching around, checking these streams, doing a bit of road cruising, seeing what's around. But oh, there's ants everywhere at my feet. I need to move. All right, so Harry is just talking to some locals about where we can find Deboya and what kind of habitat. And we just road cruised this little pretty juvenile Tiascoros. I spotted it crossing the road, and then we spread out in this vegetation here. I hope you can hear me because it's windy. And we searched around in here, and eventually David managed to spot it. But this one has a really cool like black tail. Honestly, I haven't seen a Coros with such a black tail before in my life. So that's a pretty interesting feature. But you know, cute little common snake out in these agricultural areas with those big eyes, very fast moving. You don't often get your hands on these when you see them crossing the road, but fortunately he just went down into this vegetation. But there's some more communication going on over there. Check it out, David. Look at how black the tail is. I've never seen one with such a black tail before. I think that's cool.
And it also has very faint banding. Usually they have like much more intense banding at this size.
But yeah, we're gonna grab a couple quick photos maybe and then let this one go. Okay, we just wrapped up our dinner and we're about to head out for our second night in the field. Like I said, last night was pretty good and we've already seen a couple snakes today, but let's get that #1 target tonight. Okay, first snake of the night is this nice little Anhydrus rainbow mud snake. Not quite sure why it's called the rainbow mud snake. I mean, it is kind of iridescent. You can see there, it does have that kind of slightly reduced rainbow sheen, not quite like the sunbeam snake, but fat adult, not the most strikingly patterned one I've ever seen. And well, to say the least, these guys are kind of annoying to have in hand, but yeah, look at that head. Yeah, pretty neat little Homolopsidae. I'm just gonna let this one go. All right, ignore the dogs barking, just a feature of herping in Thailand, but just walking around these ponds, just got a new species of snake that we haven't seen so far. And just down there, it's a big I swallowed a bug. 1 sec. Anyway, before that interruption, where was I? Of course, I was showing this nice adult sunbeam snake. Been a little while since I've seen one of these. Haven't seen one in the Hua Hin area for a couple months, and saw a couple down south, but they look very different there. These like very chocolatey ones, not much white on the side, and the very, very depressed head, elongated and shovel-like, less round and short than the ones in the south. But yeah, nice to see another species, just a common snake, but yet another addition to the species tally on this trip, which is always nice, and everyone likes to see a sunbeam snake. Bro, let me turn off the car. Let me turn off the car. Keith! Keith! Keith!
Let's go!
Look at that, bro! Look at that! Juvenile Deboya. This was an even bigger target for us than adult Deboya, and it's beautiful. Look at it. It's got a freaking massive meal on its belly. But it's so incredibly beautiful, so strongly patterned. Man, we have been working hard for this over the last couple days, but wow, we have been rewarded with something which, well, had become like a pipe dream for us. Come on, man, look at that thing. It's the Russell's Viper. It's a freaking Russell's Viper, and it's beautiful. All right, I've managed to like calm it down and get it to stop moving, and let's get a little bit closer. I mean, this is definitely the snake that I least want to be bitten by of all snakes in Thailand. Like, it may not be the most like deadly, but in terms of the effects that it would have, oh man, and even a juvenile like this, it's like my worst nightmare. Some of the symptoms you can experience from this, well, typically the loss of the limb that you were bitten on if you're not treated very, very quickly. But it can lead to all kinds of horrific hemotoxic and cytotoxic complications, including sending you into reverse puberty. So shrinking your nutsack and making your voice high. And I can't speak for everyone, but that certainly is something I am not interested in the slightest. But yeah, I think we've spent enough time with this incredible snake on video. I'm going to call the others and bring them over, but that is, well, a serious target. Juvenile Deboya. Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right, we just hopped back in the car on our way to show the guys the Deboya. That's the time right now. We've been grinding from 7 p.m. till now, tonight, with very, very little to show for it. Just a couple species, and at 1 a.m. in the morning, it showed up, very similar to how I found my one all those years ago. We didn't get the Anhydrus chinadai, which was like our #1 target, but we did get our #2 and 3 targets, which is pretty good going considering we could have easily missed the Boya tonight. Finding that thing crossing the road at 1 a.m. was truly sensational, and really kind of saved this part of the trip for us. But on to a new adventure tomorrow, new areas, new places, into the forest, so that'll be a different video, so stay tuned for that. I'll be out in either a few days or in a week from now. So I'm really tired. I need to go to sleep. Good night.